Hi, Assalamualaikum, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to present about data collection method in research. So my name is Siti Siti binti Muhammad Azmi. Okay, let's get started. First, why is data collection important to us? Data collection is very important because it ensures the data we use is accurate and reliable. This means the information can be trusted and used properly in research. It also helps researchers make better decisions and draw correct conclusions. For example, if the data is wrong, the whole research result can also be wrong. At the same time, it helps reduce error when the data is collected carefully and systematically. So, what is data collection? Data collection is the process of gathering information in the systematic and organized way for research purpose. Basically, it helps researchers answer their research questions and achieve their objective. There are two main types of data, which is primary data and secondary data. So, primary data is collected directly by the researcher for specific purpose. So, it is usually more accurate and up to date. On the other hand, secondary data is data that already exists and is collected by other source. So, in simple terms, primary data is original data, while secondary data is existing data. Now let's look at each of them in more detail. Okay, now I will explain about primary data in more detail. Primary data is original data that is collected directly by the researcher from sources like survey, interview, or observations. One of the main advantages is that it is highly relevant to the research objective because it is collected specifically for the study. It is also more accurate and up-to-date better than secondary data. However, the disadvantage is that it can be time-consuming and expensive to collect. It also requires proper planning to ensure the data is valid and reliable. For example, primary data can be collected through survey, interview, and observation. Surveys are useful when collecting data from many respondents, and interview also allow researchers to get more detailed and in-depth information. And another one is observation, which is help researchers understand real-life behavior or situation. So next slide is I will explain about secondary data in more detail. Okay, secondary data is the data that has already been collected by other sources, such as book, journal, or website. The main advantage is that it is easy to access and save both time and cost. Researchers can use existing data without collecting everything from the beginning. However, the limitation is that the data may be outdated or not fully suitable for the research. Examples of secondary data include academic journals, books, website, report, and statistics. These sources are commonly used to support research and provide additional information. Now that we understand both types of the data, let's move on the method used to collect the data. Okay, there are three main data collection methods, which is survey, interview, and observations. Survey are questionnaires and can be distributed online or offline. They are suitable for collecting data from a large number of respondents and are easy to analyze. And second is interview. Interview involves direct interaction with participants. They provide more detailed and in-depth information, but they take more time. And the last one is observation. It's when researcher observe behavior or situation in real life. It is useful for understanding actual behavior, but it may involve bias if not controlled properly. So now let's look at the advantages. Data collections allow researchers to collect a large amount of data, which is help them understand the research topic better. And it also flexible because researcher can choose different method depending on their needs. Using secondary data can save time and cost. Overall, it helps researcher make more accurate and informed decisions. Okay. So, however, there are also some disadvantages. The data collected can be biased or inaccurate depending on how it is collected or the honesty of respondent. Some methods are time-consuming and require proper planning and research skill. In addition, secondary data may be outdated, which can affect the accuracy of the research result. And the last slide, which is conclusion. In conclusion, data collection is a very important part of the research process because it provides the information needed to answer research questions. Choosing the right method is important to ensure the data accurate and relevant. Accurate data will produce valid and reliable results, which improve the quality of the research. Therefore, researchers must always ensure that the data collected is high quality and well organized. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.